Taking the world by surprise and especially Russia, the US President Joe Biden visited Ukraine yesterday. This unannounced visit by him came close to the heels of 1 year since the Russia-Ukraine war started. With the visit, Biden made a symbolic and defiant statement of solidarity with Ukraine. In this video, we tell you how the US authorities managed to keep under the wraps this visit of perhaps the most scrutinized person on this planet and how nobody even got a whiff of it. But before that, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Oneindia. Although Biden had often maintained that USA was standing by Ukraine in this war and it had been one of the bankrollers for Ukraine, perhaps nobody expected the visit by the US president in person. That too when there was no ceasefire or truce. The war was and is still raging. The only people who knew about his visit were a few selected ones in the US government, and the plan was strictly kept to a need-to-know basis. Biden was scheduled to fly out from the US to Warsaw on Monday evening for a 2-day trip. He was to spend the next 2 days in Poland to discuss the possibility of permanently stationing American troops there. But at 4 a.m. on Sunday, he boarded an Air Force Boeing 757 known as a C-32. The plane, a smaller version of the one US presidents normally use on international trips, which is a Boeing 747, was parked far from the usual boarding point. The call sign was changed from Air Force One to Special Air Mission 60, that is SAM 060. Even the shades on every window of this small plane was pulled down. Later, Biden, a handful of security personnel, a small medical team and his very close advisors took off to Kyiv. The plane took off from Joint Air Force Base Andrews at 4:15 a.m. on Sunday. Only 2 journalists were allowed to travel with him this time. The usual pool of reporters, which for foreign trips would normally comprise 13 journalists from radio, TV, photo and print media, was cut to just 1 photographer and 1 writer. Both of them were sworn to secrecy and their mobile phones were taken away. They were not allowed to report the visit until after Mr. Biden had arrived in Kyiv. Even Russia was informed about this visit just hours before the departure. They flew for about 7 hours from Washington to the US military base in Ramstein, Germany for refueling. Here too, the window shades stayed down and the 2 reporters did not leave the plane. The next flight was to Poland, landing in Rzeszów airport. The transponders of the plane was turned off during this time. This is a Polish airport, but since the Ukraine war, it has also become an international hub for the US-led effort to arm the Ukrainians, funneling billions of dollars of weaponry and ammunition. Either of the reporters had not seen Biden even at this point of time. They did not even see him while they were traveling with the motorcade en route to the railway station, the Szczecin Glauni, the Polish station near the Ukrainian border. It was only during the journey that they finally were able to see Biden. This was a 10-hour journey from the Polish railway station to Kyiv, and he reached there at 8 a.m. local time. While rumors were doing the rounds that Biden would ultimately visit Zelensky, the trip was kept a secret because of security reasons. Officials had earlier denied that he would go to the war-hit country as he toured Eastern Europe. Reporters were clearly told that there is no such immediate plan to visit Kyiv and they would be informed if anything such would materialize. In fact, the White House on Sunday night had issued a public schedule for Monday showing the president still in Washington and leaving in the evening for Warsaw, when in fact he was already half a world away. This overnight visit took months of planning by a handful of officials from Secret Service, White House, Pentagon and other organizations. This was all about this unannounced but very important visit that even took the US allies aback for a while. We hope you would like this new video. Thank you for watching.
Subscribe to Oneindia channel and never miss an update.